from Huron-Bruce.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Environment and Climate Change. Minister, I invite you to join me to acknowledge local success. Specifically, Minister, the 2014 Provincial Apiarist Annual Report produced by your government says protective measures brought in by the Pest Management Regulatory Agency contributed to a 70% decline of in-season bee mortality during the 2014 corn and soybean planting season. Considering the success of actions taken by Ontario farmers and Ontario industry, why won't you listen to reports coming from both Ontario and federal government, and why are you so intent to rush through regulations that will devastate Ontario farmers?
What a good question.
Thank you very much. As the member may know, we had over a 34% loss in bees this year. The U.S. Department of Agriculture just reported record losses in the United States of 42%. I just said Ontario. That's where I started. And so maybe just listen to the answer. The second thing, Mr. Speaker, we know that we've got very significant problems, both with wild pollinators, for which we do not have numbers yet for, and we know that this is water-soluble, breaks down, becomes much more toxic, and we're now picking it up in our river streams. Quebec just found it above safe levels in all 20 rivers they studied. So we're applying a precautionary principle because the science is showing very grave dangers to species, to the integrity of our ecology, Mr. Speaker, and to our water invertebrates and that. We're taking this very seriously and monitoring the science very carefully.
Thank you. Great. Go to Europe. Supplementary.
Minister, may I remind you that just last week at a conference you spoke at, you said, and I paraphrase, politicians go off the rails when they don't focus on science.
That's right.
So in that spirit, I'd like to ask you and share with you that the current provincial apiarist report from your government noted that the Ontario honeybee sector is growing and actually ended the 2014 season with a 15% increase in the number of colonies. Considering these significant numbers show that the honeybee population is growing in Ontario, what is really behind your push to destabilize the $9 billion Ontario grain sector? Thank you.
Thank you. Minister.
Mr. Speaker, it was interesting because I've been going out on Fridays to visit soy and grain farmers. I was actually in Huron County and in Perth County and Wellington County recently, and it's been quite interesting as I've met a number of grain farmers who share the government's concern. And these were people, actually, Mr. Speaker, who wrote me letters because they were quite upset about it because they'd gotten a lot of disinformation. Farmers are going to continue to use neonics on a limited basis. If they have the pests, they will be able to use it. We're working very closely with our friends at agriculture to put integrated pest management. So we're not banning it and quite far from damage, Mr. Speaker. We also know that the studies coming out right now from the EPA show no yield benefits for soy.
Answer.
So we're also reviewing the efficacy of both these on corn and soy. Well, they're effective on others, and there will be PMR studies coming out from the federal government, Mr. Speaker, in the very near future, which we look